How's it going? Okay. It's that time. Come join me. It's 12:10. Hey, I got one person in the chat. Are you gonna do the vision board? That's what we're doing today. I don't have Zoom as of yet. The vision. It's a vision board and an intention setting. And I'm just trying to get other people to join in. The vision board and intention setting. Intention setting. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend or foe. No, I won't be too sarcastic. Yes, I am. I'm just feeling that way. Let's come together. When you see content creators that have been that are acclimated on YouTube and other channels, you guys just got to give them kudos because what they do behind the scenes to get all of this going, this is not easy. But I like challenges. I like challenges. So, and I'm going to go live. Vision board. Intention setting. Y'all have your tools? I'm sorry I didn't do this on Google. I just came up with it a couple of days ago. Not on Google, on Zoom. Sorry. So I figured, why not be on my channel and let's do something creative and constructive for ourselves and for the planet. But these are our own goals. Okay? So here we go. And I know I've been doing this technique, right? And it has been very therapeutic for me, even when I was on the job. I'm a former New York City employee. Since then, I'm now retired. It's a little messy in the back because my office space, my creative space, is a little junky. I've been taking everything out and reorganizing and setting everything in place. This is also as my control room too, because I'm working on some projects. Some of you may not know that I'm definitely a hip hop pioneer, but however, I'm not suiting the prototype, and they're going on with all of these different narratives, and it is what it is. And unfortunately, we living in trying times. We have a president that is doing his own thing, and but I always believe that the creator is the higher source, God. Some people call him Jesus, and that's whatever floats your boat. Some of them call him Allah, right? Some people call him Jehovah, and that's all right too. And many other things, right? So, my thing is that I have an undergrad in public administration and public policy. A lot of people don't know that I have an educational background because I've gone through so much, but I do. But I'm just putting all of the pieces back together. And this is my pathway and has been my pathway of healing. So I just want to share, not the sad part of me losing my daughter, Alexia, and my godson yesterday made his 7th year of being murked in Queens. He was 19 years of age, excuse me, 19 years of age. And it's been very challenging waters. And um, I definitely couldn't do it by myself, not only with God's help, but with therapeutic community too. So, I've been in therapy for decades. If anybody has gone through stuff and gone through things with the music industry or just life in general, because life definitely be lifing, right? Outside help in our community, the Black and Brown and Latino, we we shun away from seeking outside help. And I think because of that, that's what keeps a lot of people sick. That keeps a lot of sickness. When I mean sickness, mental sickness, internal sicknesses. That's where the cancers come from, not only from the food that we're eating, because a lot of stuff now, I found that I was reading an article because I'm beginning to read again and trying to have my voice and trying to slow down with my voice because I'm always in survival and panic mode because I have extreme anxiety. Because when you always running, trying to save a child, trying to save this one, trying to save that, it puts you in that mode all the time. And I'm unapologetic. I own up to what I have and what has been very challenging for me even before my daughter passed away. So, with that being said, I've always been a creative mind and a creative artistic space. I enjoyed that very much. So, what happens is that life be life, and yes, we have a higher power, a source that we can go to, but I believe God has created different outlets as well. And this is one of mine. And I need to also give kudos to the Family Center. The Family Center has been very conducive and constructive in myself and my grandchildren's lives. And there's been other people too, because I haven't only just been with them. And I found through going through all of that I've been through, therapy has been therapeutic, but the arts. And sometimes, as a writer myself, because I always wrote all of my rhymes, and I had people that gave me rhymes, or later on, like in the 80s, they had writers and stuff, and pretty good writers, because it went from just rapping in the streets and the parks. We had the Fog House, the Fantasia in Queens, the Jamaica Armory, Jamaica Roller Dome, and spaces like that. And I never hear nobody talk about tracks. The Coolies had that. And we had other venues too. But I'm writing a book, and I'll be rolling out some other print things too in the near future. So stay tuned. So what am I doing here is because I have bilateral carpal tunnel, I have this hand massage clay that helps me. And also because I have anxiety, like I said, I was always running to save somebody. Just something going on. It just kept me in survival mode. That it's kind of complex to kind of turn off. So what I've learned is to exercise my hands, right? And if you're gonna join, I can't see you, unfortunately. If I wanted to bring you up on stage, I'm sure I could. But I still have to be focused, even if I'm on that running mode, right? And these are the things that calm me down. So I have these little sayings. I had probably did this in one of the workshops with Angelique. Angelique is someone that works at the family center. And during the pandemic is really where I got a chance to process my grief. Then the pandemic hit, I like in 2020. So from 2017 until 2020, I was still in shock mode. I was angry too, but I was in shock as well. These are little affirmations and stuff. We also used to do vision boards when I was employed by the city, which was great. I worked in the Office of Policy, Procedure, and Training. So I worked in the training division underneath one of the deputy directors, who I was mad at for so many years because I didn't think that she had my back and she fought for me. But we cleared that up. Some things can be forgiven, and some things you can forgive, but you don't. Some things, hell no, you ain't got to damn forgive because it depends on the nature of it. So what I'm doing today is I have an old vision board, right? And I'm going to repurpose this vision board. It's huge. This is what I had started on the job, the vision. Um, you see me with the crown. I was in the Queen's Library hip hop photo exhibit, hip hop pioneer photo exhibit, where I belonged. And here was the old picture of the old museum's name, the Universal Hip Hop Museum, but now it's called the Hip Hop Museum. And that's because, myself as a survivor and other survivors and advocates, we did a protest along with Layla Wills. That's my girl. That will forever be my girl because I thank her because people come in your life for a season or a reason. And I really needed that. I needed that level of healing. And I had never really touched it. And a lot of it had to do when I was running around with my daughter, because I had started rapping, MCing in the 70s. And I was told that they wanted me to change my timeline. At the time, I didn't know why. But now I understand why, because I didn't fit into the narrative that they had set. And, that could be a messy mess. But behind and underneath there, after clearing up my my way of suppressing a lot of the traumas, you see, I'm repurposing this vision board. It's big. This is when I started on the job. So and then I found out, and so many others, that due diligence was not given. It was not, did not happen. That there was a lot of ideology, and I'm not knocking any boroughs And the one that they saying was the first, because I've had people come at me or inadvertently say sarcastic things. Well, she wasn't there. No, I wasn't there when I first started. I was with my cousins that were older than me. I also was with a friend, and her siblings was older than me. And there are so many different dynamics, and I'm not going to go into that storytelling because, like I said, I will be providing information very soon in literature, and I do have evidence to back it up. So, here I go. This vision has already happened. Like I said, I did this years ago when I was at work, right? My granddaughter Dream, she got dreams. She keeps chasing them, and she has. So, this manifestation has already occurred, and she's doing a doggone thing after they said that she wouldn't be doing any of that she is doing because she was born with a condition, and she's just a living dream. She had a Sweet 16 party bus. I was away celebrating my 60th because I didn't want to have a party. Let me see. Wellness, spirituality, elevate. Yes, I'm still on this vision. Can you see? All right, wait a minute. I don't think you can see because I got my phone here. Let me move this here. Let me do this a little better. Here we go. I didn't beat my face. I don't have my hair done. I like t-shirts. Some t-shirts I'll wear, and some things are just memorabilia. You'll see in the near future as I continue to grow my channel and my platforms. But you see, it's about elevating. I don't know if you all can see on Facebook, but the elevate. So I'm going to keep that. The best colleges. I would like to return to school, but sometimes my focus isn't all that great. But I do deserve some other honorary things because I have a vast, extensive training and experience, and I have receipts on that. This one is finding my way to magnificent. So I don't know what happened to this. I think it got stuck onto something. So I'm going to fix this. And I don't know if I told you, for a vision board, you could take a cardboard box. You could use anything and be creative with it. Old magazines, old pictures, your scissors, of course, your glue. I haven't got a glue gun. Stickers, because I always have magazines. I had started last night ripping out stuff out of the magazines. Okay, let me do this. I had saw last week some people that I know from a special group of play people. They all hang out together. I'm not too much with the cliques because of what I went through when I was younger with the frenemies. So it's amazing how what you go through as a youngster will definitely impact your course in life, And the bottom line is that everybody ain't going to always vibe, and everybody's not going to always mesh together. And I'm not one to be around a bunch of snakes that hee ha ha in your face and talk behind your back, because I've had too much of that. I've been up and I've been down, and I think when I was going through my stuff and I was a little so-called down, but I was learning, I was surviving, I was building stamina. I would like to say, because I really wasn't down. I was up, just trying to find my way, because I never had the proper guidance. Because that's what happens when balls drop. When the systematic balls drop, people are left to survive. Some of them do it in a meticulous way. Some of them do it in a negative way. I need to fix that. So I need some tape. So I'm not going to put that on here yet. I had Oprah Winfrey on here. I'm taking her off. Even though, she was fired initially before she became, I think she was fired. Or maybe she was told yeah. It was off of a news network. I think because she was too dark or she was too big. One of the factors, and she wound up becoming a big media mogul. Big house, even better. Okay, most folks would describe Oprah as smart, savvy, or strategic, but there's one other word that also comes to mind. Stacked. Queen O is a certifiable brick house, even better. The full figured beauty isn't shy when it comes to showcasing two of her most supple assets on the red carpet. Yeah, well, maybe I want to be like O in some ways. Let me see. I'll just put her to the side. You got one person watching. Here's the board that I'm repurposing. I'm filling in all the blanks. I'm taking the Universal Hip Hop Museum off of here because I wanted some of my intellectual properties to be displayed in there, but that's not going to happen. But I do believe that there will be other places and other museums that once I can get everything together and proper ownership, that I'll be able to have one consign it. Because people are running around here, they're giving up stuff, they're giving up tapes, and people are making millions and billions of dollars off of what they had, and they're not getting any recognition. So I know what I was talking about. Hold on one second. Let me get a two-sided tape from in here. Okay. I'm back. Hi, morning, T. Hi, Wanda. How you doing? How you feeling? I know. I need to come and see you. I don't know if they moved you or what. But what you doing? You doing this vision board with me? Tell them to give you a piece of paper or something. It's an arts and craft. But anyway, I'm up here chopping it up. And I'm sharing with the whole entire social media world, virtual world, this vision board. And what has been helping me to kind of calm me down with some of my anxiety and the complex trauma and all of the stuff that's going on. I'm going to keep comment on here. I had this on my vision board for years when I was at the job. We started doing these vision boards at the job, the city of New York, because I was doing, that's good that you're doing okay. So I like Common. I like the work that Q-Tip has done. I didn't live around the corner, but he's from Queens by all means. And Nas, too. I don't know if Nas was out there in Queensbridge when I was with these guys and I emceed in Queensbridge. Also, Sound Masters used to be out there, and I've rocked out with them as well, and as well out in Cooper Projects. And I think one time I was there at St. Gabriel's too. It's a lot. Um, I also had the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, and I know that everybody is like intertwined together, intertwined together. I'm getting my speech together as well. I know I want to start reading more books this year and doing some self care. So, what I've been doing also is I've been doing some chair yoga, and I've been drinking this drink that has beets in it. And it's okay, it's an acquired taste. And I started doing this little detox, but it seemed like every time I turn around, I'm being invited out to get out the house because for many years I would go out, but it wasn't that often. Of course, I'm always ripping and running with the grandkids. If there's somewhere that I can go, hospital for special surgery has been fantastic. I'm just shouting out some of the nonprofits that I'm so glad that Trump, they rescinded those $2 billion cuts because I was on standby, because I'm the spokesperson, but I was on standby to go on Channel 7 News because, I go on the news, when they let me, because years ago when I was trying to bring awareness as to what happened with my daughter, you couldn't get nobody to be interested. And that's why I say, is it still freedom of the press? Because it seems like that there's an involvement where certain stories are being suppressed, which that shouldn't be. And the reason why I can say that is because in New York Institute of Technology, when I was working towards my bachelor's in the 80s, while I was pregnant with Alexia, and I was living in Far Rockaway. That's how I met NC Search. Yeah, it's a lot of history. Um, I've never been out to Martha's Venue, but I used to hang out in the Hamptons very early on because a couple of people that I grew up with, they family had property in Sag Harbor. And this is Epic Sound, Cecil Williams lived in St. Albans. And I did a lot of my practicing and I was down with them as well. Um, and then I brought Crazy T along with me. He was part of the Imperial 5 MCs. That's the first MC that I met that had the raspy voice. Then came Ja Rule and all of them. And Crazy T was from the South Side. He was crazy as hell. But his gift, you know, coming straight off the dome. And I was able to do that too. Remember that, Wanda? On the B-53 bus? A lot of people forgot because when you off out of the scene, people forget who you are. And even some people in St. Albans, they like, wait a minute. Didn't you used to MC? Yes. Mm-hmm. Sure did. Was one of the few girls to even do it initially. And some people say, oh, they're so preoccupied with being the first. But when you're talking about history, that's a fact over there because I didn't know of any more until, what was that? Maybe 77, 78, when I was on a cheerleading team at the Deuce 192 because I had gotten kicked out of 238. But I performed on 238 stage. Like I said, certain things is just not, I'm not going to spill out the whole story because when I tell certain stories, I noticed that people have gone back and they said, well, I've done such and such too. And I played here and I played there. And that might be true. But greed has always been the downfall for us black folk, you know. And again, I keep going back to this president that we have, President Trump. I didn't vote for him. And I didn't vote Democratic either. You know, people might be mad, but I got freedom of choice. I vote for whoever I want to. And that's another thing about the real hip hoppers. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that they never forget. Absolutely. This is my history. It's my legacy. It's my grandchildren. And hell no, I ain't giving up my intellectual property. And then they run around, oh, she don't have flyers. She don't have this. And they probably got people running around that have obtained tapes with Future Sounds and Unique or Ebony. And they done probably destroyed properties. I'm not saying that it's definite, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's how deep this thing is. People will go to any length and any strength. See my terminology, my words. I don't know why I got this. This is the thin double-sided tape. And my fingers don't operate the way they used to because of carpal tunnel. Here we go. See, persistence is the key. And that's my motto. I tell DeVal, I tell Dream all the time, never give up. Persistence. I don't want to hear, I can't, I will. I taught that to my daughters too. My poor Alexia. And also what I have on this vision board is gotta have a Psalms quote, gotta have a biblical quote. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. Psalms chapter 3, verse 3. I think it was, I don't know, Fat Cat. Well, Cat. He had a quote on that he posted the other day that I'm not really what he posted was right on time. So I'm finding that even though with this lot of the negativity that's online, you got to find the positive stuff too, because there is positive things. There's positive affirmations. There are positive people that are not into that dark energy, you know, that are real or their authentic self. And that's fantastic. Here I go with this little double-sided tape. I don't know where I got it from, but it gives me a hassle. But I got to fix this quote here because this is going to stay. I wish some more people would join me, but they're missing out on it, you know. Or they might have their own clique, or they've never thought about this and how therapeutic it is, because you have to have goals and intentions, you know, like you got to have. I remember in school, they taught us you got to have the yearly goal, the annual goal, 5-year and 10-year goal. And what I've been doing is I'm finally beginning to journal. I made a commitment to journal because I wasn't doing that either. I think I was kind of lost in space, felt like. See, I fixed it. Okay. And I want to connect into loving relationships. Somebody keeps sending me attachments. I know. I'm glad to have you in this chat, Wanda, because I know sometimes it get lonely. My plate be so full, but I'm gonna call you, and hopefully, you're not too far away that I'll be able to see you. Come see you. So I was shouting out the Family Center here in Brooklyn because they've been instrumental to the children and I. But before them, it was the Jewish boy, and I can't think of her first name, but her last name was Mizra. And she was a nice Jewish lady, and she was committed and to what she did in serving kinship families like mine. Because, in contrary to what everybody may think, I didn't get any foster care or anything. Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna be. Are you gonna be staying in the same place, or you have to go somewhere else? Hopefully, they get you into one of them brand new apartment buildings. You know, because you don't need to be going down those steps and all of that. And change is good. Those social workers need to get on it. Yeah, I'm retired from the job now, but I'm still, you know, I think because of my experiences, lots of them, it shaped and molded me to the individual that I am now. And I think I should have kind of kept to the rebel mode because I am still a rebel, but I'm more mature, more laid back, and I do a lot of consequential thinking. And sometimes I just don't give a F. It depends on what side of the bed I done woke up on. And I'm very unapologetic. But I know one thing I've learned to set boundaries. But because of what happened to me and not having the resources, I don't mind sharing information to other people, you know. And I think that's where we're wrong and we're going wrong as a community, you know. We don't share information. And everybody mad at Trump because he's doing what he do. But our politicians in our neighborhood aren't all that fantastic either. Nobody should be in a clique or anything or of a certain necessity to be able to have the benefits. They shouldn't. But that's what's going on. And they are doing things and they're just putting it on social media. But really, what's going on behind the scenes? I like these. I got stickers too. Back to your apartment. Well, that's all right because you'll be close proximity, but you should be probably be moving into another apartment. And we'll talk about that later on off camera. Yeah, I love these birds because I want to fly high. Okay. But right now, I'm just fixing up the board. Okay. The best colleges. That's what I want to have. Okay. Yeah. I think the thing with President Trump is that he ain't doing no more than the other politicians. Most of them do. Can't say all of them, but most of them do. but he's so blatant and he's so outward. I prefer to know who the hell don't like blacks or Latinos or whatever on some supremacy. But we have some discriminatory practices within us too. And for example, I think I just said it earlier, those narratives, and if you don't get with the program, we're going to ostracize you because you don't want to bend your damn story. Why should I have to? And greed has always been the downfall to not just only black people, for white folks, for people in general. Yep. And that's why I don't kiss nobody's behind and I ain't kissing no rings. And you know, Wanda, I've been a little feisty since I was in high school, but I kind of mellowed out and I shouldn't have when I went to go stay with a friend of me at a friend of me house. That the system should have never allowed me to stay there because they really didn't do a thorough background check, because that wouldn't have been an ideal place for me to live in. And I wind up more damaged and more traumatized than living with my mother, my biological mother. But it is what it is. And, 2026, well, 2025 is just opening up doors. 2026 is just spilling all and giving all the truths. Really, because that's how you heal. Because other than that, you have to contend with a lot of sicknesses. And this affirmation that I have: a tiny seed of faith, watered with love, wisdom, and hard work, grows into a majestic tree of blessings. That still rings true. And I could feel it. Yep. So those are life lessons, you know, with the greed. And if you go into history, that's always been, especially our problem. We sold our own damn, well, not we, but in Africa they sold their own damn people, the kings and queens, into slavery. Yeah, they did the trade, and it was greed. And we haven't learned. People haven't learned their lessons. I ain't gonna say we because I'm gonna keep it on thee, but I'm talking about the other ones. So we definitely need these nonprofits that are doing the right things, that don't have these kickbacks. And I think the disadvantage of having what became to be known as hip hop is that it's so politically connected that people aren't free to express themselves or be, or they have to suffer in their silence, or maybe they don't. Well, it happened to me, so I ain't going to talk about it because I'm making all of this money. But what happened to a lot of the other pioneers that didn't cross over? We part of the damn history too. And Trump ain't been the only one that, has been the way he is. Hoover was the same way. Yeah. And another thing, it's crazy how if you say something against somebody, next thing you know, whatever hidden things that you had and you thought that was kept under quiet is kept, it come leaking out. Yeah. And that's what happened this past week. I ain't gonna say his name. That's my ideology. I could be wrong because I don't know everything, but I damn sure know a lot. And I damn sure know how to read energy. And sometimes even being in those messed up predicaments, the survivor that I'm in, the survivor mode that I'm in and that I am, it teaches you how to navigate. I don't know why. Yeah, this is some very thin two-sided tape. Let me just, maybe if I know what it is. I'm so silly. It would be much easier if I just put the tape, the adhesive part, on the paper and then try to peel it from the back. I think that would be conducive. Where everybody at 12 o'clock? They're probably doing their own thing. I believe it's snowing outside because my body's telling it. It's like a built-in alarm. There's signals. In fact, I need to take my medicine. Yeah, I'm still trying to fight with this thing. Maybe if I use a paper clip. Because this thing is making my fingers ting. They tingling. Here we go. I got it. Persistence and consistency is the key. And I'm jumping all over the place. So that means I need to take my medicine. I'm going to fix this one. And then I'm going to run up there and bring my medicine downstairs and I'll take it. Because back to your apartment. You know. You should be moving into a different space. Them social workers should be helping you too. Because some of them are doing their job and some of them are not. The new elected mayor, what's his name, Mandani? Good luck. You know, I'm sure he'll do some things good. Maybe he'll do some things wrong too. Like they all do. I don't know about the ratio of it, but for some reason, he thinks that the immigrants built this country. And I don't. I know from my lineage line, and people have their own theory and the Indians and all of that. But by me attending my family reunions and speaking directly to my grandparents, taking my daughters down there when they were younger. Lexi, it wasn't with us. They told me what it was like, how my grandfather couldn't go to school because he had to do the sharecropping, and how poor they were and how they had to wear cardboards in their shoes. And that wasn't that long ago. And, you know, being the fact that, like I said, my life and my experience has shaped and molded me into the individual that I am today. And I'm proud of that. And I'm blessed because a lot of people that grew up with me and around me, they didn't make it, unfortunately. But I did. And I'm not sorry I did. And I'm glad I didn't stay stuck like Chuck. Really. This is cool, right? All right. Now I am, where do I want to put life as a journey? I think over here. Yeah. And I'm going to put some birds up there. Mm-hmm. Yep, the birds that are together, they flock together too, right? Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. So that means in all aspects. So people that be doing the wrongdoing and all down with all of that stuff in the culture, that's an indication to me too. Oh, let's see. Life happens. Yep, that's cool. Oh, that bird is there. That's a nice bird. That looks nice. And I'm going to put another one over here. And I said I was going upstairs to take my medicine, right? All right. Well, I'm going to bring it down here. You stay on, Wanda. Look. Put the birds on. I'm going to make this huge. But I think I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to make this one main one and cut these off because I don't want it to take up too much space. So I may move Carmen and Nas and Q-Tip because the hell, I would love for Nas to pay me in full because I damn sure ain't get paid and went through all of this craziness. But there's too many gatekeepers that want me to be quiet. They don't know. They keep hearing things from other people, but they really don't know who I am and who I be. Mm-hmm. SHORTEE. Oh, I'm back. It's snowing outside. For real. It's coming down. Well, I'm glad I got some calcium. And I done lit me an incense. Because that helps my anxiety too. Essential oils, smells, the breathing. Yeah, when I start really getting into my podcast, I'll have scripted material and like main points. Because I was definitely an avid orator where I could speak and all of that, but I understand and it frustrates me too. But grief changes your whole entire dynamic. Now, I know I watched this. I like to drink my water out of a glass, but I ain't drinking this because I don't think I rinsed it off properly. So I have my bottle of water here. And I have my little medicine bag. I have refills in here. I ain't going to show you how big it is, but I definitely need to take it because I don't want to be babbling up here too much. And this is one of the reasons why I can't work. Well, can't work on the plantation because they done made, I don't care if it's private sector or civil servant sector. And it's terrible how we get so much power. Then you want to control people. Then you want to have your cliques. I got a vision for something different than that. Yep, that's room temperature. Let me see. Then I'm going to do a little practicing because I have an event to go to, a celebration. And they're having a hip hop theme, ironically.
Grandma,
Yes?
can I have this?
No, no, you can't have that.
I have to wait till you eat my lunch.
Yeah,
Are you making fun of?
I don't know yet.
You can let me go to the store for lunch?
I don't know. I'll wait and see. But that snow is coming down.
Please.
We'll see, DeVal.
Mm.
We'll see. Mm. Wanda, she done left. I think I'll stay on here until about 1:30. But this is what I'm doing. And I figured people would join in. And if they don't, then they'll be able to get a chance to look at the live or they'll see on YouTube on how I proceeded with my vision board and the conversations that I'm having that's real and how I enjoy and how I've really tapped into my creative self again. And that is because of the nonprofit that we have here, the Family Center. And I know I was talking about the Jewish board. My family, we was with them at first. And they lost funding. So then I had heard the presentation from the Family Center. So I joined them. I decided that that was a good fit. And it was. And, you know, everything does not operate and run perfect. And I know if I've had some discords that there has been there's been some constructive addressing without facing retribution. I think we have created a climate and a culture where as if anyone steps up or stands out or speak up for themselves, they have to face retribution. And it's not only in this administration, it's in the state and the local governments too. How do I know? Because I've experienced it. My family has underwent it too, undergone it. Got to take the aspirin. The aspirin a day help keep the doctor away. Hmm. I didn't even know it was going to snow. All right, this is the little medicine I need right here. I'm still doing my vision board. What I decided to do was to repurpose an old vision board, to switch up and to change it up and then modify it. And that's what you can always do with your intentions and your visions. And that's what this beautiful artist, Angelique at the Family Center. Yep, it was during COVID that I was able to really tap into my grief and to really get an outlet and to tell people or professionals what was going on, how things were happening, what it made me feel like, the frustration, the unaccountability, and all of that other stuff. Hi, Denise. Happy New Year. I've seen you out there having a great time. Monica seemed like I know you like the older sister from Howard Avenue. And we just turned 60. Monica. She looked fabulous. But I know the shoes, the grief that she walks in is hard every day. It's, it's a challenge. Yeah. So I'm repurposing one of my old vision boards that I didn't finish up from 2017 before Alexia passed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these sides off, right? And these sides, and then I'm going to have this board here. And I think I'm going to have mini boards that I'm going to post around the house. And girl, I done cut. I got me some magazines, right? I done cut some of the articles. I have some stickers because I was one even in elementary school. I used to attend PS 118 in St. Albans, and I loved arts and craft. The class would be disruptive, and I would be telling everybody, shh, shh, be quiet. I was so fascinated. And I believe now with YouTube, you could do so many different things, with the instructions. And this is what creates and gives me some kind of peace because my anxiety, and then sometimes I'm sad and I'm depressed, right? So I find that this gives me more peace, and it's good for the brain. It's good for the endorphins. It's to feel good. I don't have to take a drink. I don't have to use any other my altering substances. I don't have to do any of that. I can create. I'm in a space now that, you know, I know that I'll be able to write. I've been writing all along. I write verses here and there, and that's why I got to clean this room up because I have snippets. But I've been unleashing some songs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it right here. This is "You Need Chaos in Your Soul to Give Birth to a Dancing Star." All right, I think I'm gonna go along here. I'll put this here along the border. So what you doing? Hi, Keisha. Hi, baby girl. I know it's rough for us all these years. And girl, it's getting a little better, but it'll never get better. Because I was with the 1, 2, 3 punches. So I'm up here, I'm doing this vision board. If you have some scraps and you're not working, get your stuff. Make sure you create your vision board. Hi, baby girl. I miss you. We need to talk. I got some things going on. But I'm uncovering and getting some in-depth healing. And I'm still on trial, so I can't talk about this trial in public on social media. They put me on the little gag. It's not really it was an order from the judge because I'm telling the truth. Yeah. And that chick that I used to stay with, she came in there, the hater. Lord have mercy, it's a lot going on. But it ain't bothering me because when you walk in truth and anything that impacted me, impacted my child, and it's just time. Divine Spirit said, you know what? It's time. Cat Williams ain't lie. He ain't lie. So. And can't nobody tell you how you're supposed to heal, what you should be saying, what not. That's what has kept a lot of us sick in our Black, brown, Latino, various different other ethnicities and colors. I didn't mess up the word that time because sometimes I'll be messing up the damn words pronunciating because I'm just not the same person. Um, Keisha, I don't know how I've been able to survive. I know it's been through the grace of God, but it's also through God putting different people in support teams. And I also got a shout out now from National Association of Black Female Executives in Music and Entertainment. Can't dare leave out my sisters. I've never joined a sorority. I've never wanted to be part of a gang. And maybe a lot of the crews, maybe they was considered gangs, but I didn't look upon that as a gang. You know, Epic Sounds. I didn't think that that was a gang. My cousin's crew, Atomic Sounds, Jamaica Sounds. Um, Yeah, I didn't think any of them were gangs. I knew Zulu Nation was considered, you know, different ones. I guess they were gangs inadvertently. But if I was ever part of it, if I found out they was with the stupidness, I got the hell up out of there. That's why I never hung around certain circles either. Because I knew I wasn't willing to go to jail and be incarcerated off of somebody else's stuff. Because I remember the household I lived in, I got in a lot of trouble because of that person. And I think that's what implemented to me. Sometimes, you know, um, your experience is definitely a life lesson. And I said, shit, I ain't never gonna put myself in that predicament again. Not to say that I failed and I never, made mistakes, but as long as you learn, and sometimes Ayala Van Zant used to say, sometimes you got to go back into that valley until you learn the lesson. And you get burnt so much, it's like, hell no. Yeah, so it's been really deep. I think about Alexia, I think about Kim, Amori, you know, I think about those guys. I'm always grateful to Queens. Like I live in Brooklyn, but I was born and raised in Queens. Queens has always been my hometown. And I think I got more years here in Brooklyn than I did Queens, but that's my foundation. And it's so crazy how things popped off in Elmhurst and Corona when I hear different ones come out of there because I lived in Corona as a kid, as a baby. And I know the addresses and everything. And then it's funny how I grew up in St. Albans and Hollis. And at one point we was in South Jamaica, you know. But I ain't here to tell all of that history. But this is what I've learned to do. I didn't know that there was a niche to this when I was in elementary school at 118 and even in junior high school, but it is. But then when I got connected with the family center, see, um, Angelique did her thing. The CSI Motorcycle Club. Robin Dean does a lot. She got a nonprofit. I know she does a lot in the community. I wish I was able to go and attend like the bus rides. It gives me back so much memory. And I've been writing on it. I've been writing. So I ain't going to elaborate. But one day, I told somebody in the other chat too, Promise Day, one day I'm going to get my proper recognition. Because I know somebody else said, well, if you waiting for somebody to acknowledge and you be waiting along, you damn sure will. That's why I've never waited for anybody to do anything for me. I've learned through life's journey and to do it for myself. But at the other hand, the dynamics of my makeup, if I know that somebody needs some information and some help, I'm going to help them. I am. And I do. And I have. I've sat on pantry lines because when I got my grandkids, and even though children's services, even the agency I worked with, even on the state level, they messed up, and then there was no accountability, no follow up. That's why I have the shits with a lot of these politicians because there's a damn backstory to that. And just because they work for you and you've been benefactors, they have not for me. I see through the smoke screen, you know. So With that being said, I always give shout outs to the nonprofits. Life Camp, Erica Ford. I knew Erica Ford when she was growing up and we all was in high school. She used to ride the B-53 going to Christ the King. I was on the going to Grover Cleveland, freestyling on the bus. Same damn friend of me. Always. I said, when I look back now, see, when you don't know, you don't know. And when you have good intentions, sometimes you don't always spot everyone that has that bad energy. Hi, Mecca. How big, Mecca? How you doing? Happy New Year. How's the family going? Don't think I'm just rambling on here, girl. I'm talking on here, but as I'm speaking, I'm repurposing my vision board. I had this vision board. I started it at the job in 2017 before Alexia passed. And I took some things off and I never completed it, right? So I said this year is a year for completion, right? So I said I'm on my YouTube channel. Nobody's on there yet. And that's okay. But I'm steady, just a chatting. I might be rambling to some, but others, you may be getting information. I'm not talking about that other stuff that I've been going through, but I am definitely giving shout outs. But as I was saying, Erica Ford, oh, she witnessed and she seen me older and she was like, hey, how you been? And I didn't want to go into like, it was crazy. That's when we was on Rock the Bell Radio. And that's when Grandmaster Caz was interviewing us. And that's when he was like, oh, everybody got flyers? Yes, everybody got flyers. I got flyers. I got flyers that niggas don't even have. But I learned from my lesson. Your sister gonna go to the store, it's snowing.
Sure.
Yeah, well, you go to the store. Because I'm up here. I'm caught up. Huh?
Where's your card?
I ain't using no card.
Oh, you use money?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting anything from the store. I don't want any processed foods. I could get a salad though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a salad. So that's me. This Robin Dean, she does all of this, a lot of stuff in the community, and take pictures and all of that. But the bee, I cut out the bee, or maybe I didn't catch it. I didn't capture it. It's okay. All right. I think I'll put it down here. Or I think I'm gonna put it on this side. Yeah, I'll utilize that side. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I got my stickers. That then some of them fell out. And I'm having myself a grand old time in my own space. Because I don't like people to invade my space. And definitely knew when people come into my house, like just trying to bogart, you could feel somebody's dark energy now. And I'm like, dang, I'm so blessed to be in a different space that you can even feel that. I'm not messing around with that tape because that tape is taking too long for me to. I have double-sided tape, but it's taking too long. So I got me a glue stick. So I'm going to glue this on. So it won't take up too much time. Because I want to make some progress by 1:30. Because I think that would have been an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. Me chopping it up. How's the weather down there, Mecca in Florida? It's nice. Hmm? Can I bring you on camera here? Let me see if I can bring you up. Yeah, I'm a collector. All right. I can't add you because of technical issues. Yeah. Mm. Yes, I had to create my own safe space. Sometimes the world is not safe out there, and you have to have a space where you can just unwind and you can meditate and the whole gamut. All right, wait a minute. I hit something. Because I'm on my YouTube live too. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm back. Now I'm back. How many people created a vision board? They're better than resolutions because this vision board isn't just only what happened. I don't know what happened to my YouTube live. Is it rebooting? Let me see. Well, I got this sticker. Healthy body. Go your own way. And that's what I plan on doing. Doing it my own way. I don't think I want this on here. I just want to go your own way. And that's what I'm doing. When you're confronted with certain obstacles and you have to let go what no longer serves you. So that means you have to go your own way. And that's what I've been doing. And when I think of it, I had this mindset even early as a kid, like way before I left home, even when I was in elementary school. And I think I must have thought it was weird being yourself because can't nobody else be you. Ain't no duplicated copy crash crew. Okay. I like that over here. So what I'm going to do is, Mecca, I'm redoing this. I'm cutting these parts off because I'm going to have separate places that I'm going to fix it to on my walls. Maybe one in the room. So when I walk around, I have these reminders. And I think, like when you did in school, like each achievement, I'll probably give myself one of these little jewels on it as I accomplish whatever the vision is. I know in school they used to do stars, right? I like this affirmation too. Peace. Peace is always beautiful. I can't even tell you where I got this sheet from, but I found it and I said, you know what? This is going to work. And that's what you can do in your own home. But I know I keep skipping and I keep going all over the place. And that's frustrating for me too. Because that impedes my ability to really MC like I used to or be in relationship with my cadis. And, some people say, oh, she's saying because she lost her daughter. No, there was so much going on in my household. And for me, when we started in the parks, it was a breath of fresh air. Because I come from a musically inclined family. When I hear about the bands, I'm like, yep. hmm But anyway, peace is always beautiful. It is. And sometimes you have to create your own peace. And creating your own peace is that you can't be around people or people that no longer serve your best interests. And being the fact that nobody really helped me and that I got the answer for everybody else, I had to learn that it's okay not to help anybody else because to help yourself, not always helping somebody else, because I think that aspect of me will never change, even though it wasn't done for me. But I learned not to be used or abused, because everybody's intention is not good intentions. But I'm glad to know that Eric Adams, the former mayor, who used to hang out with my cousin, one of my cousins, Jamaica, and I ain't gonna tell you how I remember Eric, but I do. It's not a bad way, but you know, I remember him, and I was young. The little girl had the ponytails, or I might have had cornrows, whatever. He gave out the keys to the city. He gave it to King's a King Foundation, which was really cool. Um, I haven't really been a real benefactor of their foundation. Um, they made sure when me and the kids was at the park, me and my daughters and the family, um, we was okay in Basie Park. And I had to bogart my way. It's a shame when you don't cut records and the nonsense that goes along that they want to treat you different. But I can tell you, yep, I got my pajama pants on. I'll get myself together later on. But I kept saying for years, once I was able to get my body together, my mind together, and to get out a little more and to want to be around certain scenes. Because I think when we had went out there in 2018, I was still in shock, you know. But I've always ran to the music because the music was always a source of comfort because of my family and their lifestyle. But, and I've spoken to Lance and told him certain things. I ain't going to spill it out here, you know, and I know their position and how they are and how they rock out. And, you know, I'm glad for them. But I can tell you that when I brought the children out to the little Basie Park, and I had gotten so turned around because I hadn't been in certain parks in decades. And sometimes my sense of direction is a little off. But Rance was like, hey, how you doing? He always greet me. Same thing with Big Todd. Little Todd is like my son. No, I'm just because I watched him grow. I watched him flourish in his own right. Nobody did nothing for him, you know. I ensured that he continued on the right path. And when he was doing deviating, because I had to be a supervisor, and no, he wasn't running around crazy. Um, and when I had to tell him, yo, well, I ain't tell him yo because I don't speak like that. But, if he had to curtail some things, all you had to do was let him know. And I think I was one of the greatest supervisors. They wanted me to be mean, but I couldn't be mean and grandstand with a title. That's not me. But in the event, that's how I feel about little Todd and his family. And I remember when he first got married, and the first little guy and all of that. So when I see somebody in the community and they start and they flourish and they come from good stock, as the Furtados. They all are talented in one form or another. Very smart. Um, my cousin's daughter, Bonnie, Monique's daughter. I mean, not Monique's daughter. Bonnie's daughter, Monique. Um, she's gorgeous and pretty, and Bonnie's granddaughter. She does give back to the community because I watch those things. But we came in the park, and Lance said, "How you doing?" He always asks me how I'm doing, and I'm like, "Okay." I couldn't dump on him, and he probably want to hear it all because certain things is trigger to people, and they don't want a part of it, be a part of that. And I definitely would never intertwine anyone into anything, but the kids, they was able to run around, they ate. I ran into people I hadn't ran into decades, and they was like, "Oh my God, it's you." Some of them know me by Tammy, and I'll not remember Shorty or Shorty T. And we were having conversations, and sometimes that's what triggered like the memory. And I'm like, hell no, I need to be known. I'm going to not get anybody. If nobody want to co-sign, I'm a co-sign my damn self. And for the ones that's going to jump on board, so be it. But my grandson had a ball on that basketball court, and they had food. We had got there a little late, but they still had food. But I had always, and I think it was one the freaking fact. Sometimes I don't know their names because when I had came to Basie, I think I had seen them like late in the '80s with my daughter, and that's when the team was out there, and I was living in the Bronx. I knew I was home, but she was so nice enough. I bought the shirt that was reserved for her, right? And this was so dope, and I appreciate you. And I haven't worn this shirt, and I don't know if I want to. But I know that they're doing their thing in the community and they're giving back. And yeah, you can have a second chance. So I was so glad that Eric Adams gave them the key to the city. South side, outside. That is dope. So here, yeah, I got a whole bag of t-shirts that I've been collecting. I even got a D'Angelo shirt. I certainly did. Because I loved his music. And I don't know if I'm gonna do an ancestry or ancestors altar, but I might wear it at least once a couple of times. But that's so cool. I don't know if they have permission, but I certainly got it. Now you done got me into the t-shirts. Let me see. What else I have here? Oh, Kobe Bryant. And Gigi. I have that t-shirt too. That's cool. This is my sister friend. Angie. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I got the sweatshirt. I got a t-shirt too. I have the mug and I got the coffee. And I'm almost finished with the coffee. I didn't want to use it all up, but I'm going to keep the wrapping. So I'm creating my own mosaic and my own like little museum. Who knows? You know. But one thing for sure is that you have to be creative and you have to be your own person. And I definitely am my own person. And yeah, you have to stand out from the crowd. I had went here with the grandkids. This is a nonprofit, Trails Without Limits. So this woman in Westchester County, she started this nonprofit, and they have equipment for children that have physical disabilities, and they're not able to hike and do certain things because of their limitations. So that's why she created her nonprofit. And here I got a t-shirt of my daughter Amber's brother that passed away tragically, Gloria's son from Astoria. Yeah, um, that's Michael. Yeah, I had went to the vigil, and yeah, that's another damn story. I believe that my daggone life definitely is a series. So we're gonna see what happens. I want a salad, a grilled chicken salad. Tell your sister.
Yeah, I'll tell my sister.
Uh-huh. With all the regular stuff, the cucumbers, the tomatoes, the balsamic vinegar,
Yeah, you have
and
to
all of
write
that.
that down. Or maybe Dream knows. Or text Dream.
No, I'm doing my live. You have to tell Dream. Where Dream at? She got dressed?
Yes.
All right.
She might know.
Well, she have to call me and then I have to put my thing on pause.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't got no lower bills than this. You tell her that she better count the change. And get me one of those
Orange.
the orange and the green tea, Arizona. Mm-hmm. I'm up here having my own festival. I don't know if anybody is in the chats and are they online. I don't know, but this is what I'm doing, and this is my channel. I don't know where Keisha is. Keisha left. This is my godson's shirt, Amori. So I didn't wear this. I just keep it as a memorabilia. Yeah, and I got a display cabinet. So yeah, yesterday made 7 years. Yep, you will always be loved. You will always be loved. Rest in peace, Amori. So yeah, I got quite a few subjects and things to, write on. And I'm glad that you're able to talk into some of this software because my hands with the carpal tunnel. And this is Dream's little t-shirt. Well, this was probably Storm from the hydrocephalus walk. Yeah, this is what I have. And what else do I got in here? Yeah, I done started and couldn't stop. Oh, here, look. I went up to the 50th anniversary. DJ Hollywood was rocking out. And I had already practiced and I was ready to rock out with DJ Hollywood. And I was trying to wave to him, come on, come on. Because certain people that were there that, didn't trigger my anxiety. And Grand Wizard Theodore. Now, I remember Theodore in Bronxdale Park, in Gleason Park, with Disco King Mario, 1978. I have a timeline and I have a history that nobody can dispute because it's only mine and I know, right? So the elements, the graffiti, the DJ, the B-boy, the B-girl, well, a lot of the B-boys, the MC in the beatbox. Yep, and I was there. I certainly was. So I keep these t-shirts and I don't want to wear them. They're just a memorabilia. So I think what I'm going to do is probably wrap them in plastic. And if I wear them, it'll be very seldom. And here, Kasim. I didn't wear Kasim's shirt either. We had so many losses of our young people in this past 8 years. But he passed away before Alexia, and I could not imagine it. And my daughter Amber and I, my mini me, the middle one, we went to his service, and I was good friends because our children used to date. Yeah, with his mom, Ladiva, and Big Cos, and it's just so ironic how we was kind of intertwined because I know Big Cos' stepmother is one of my girls and friends for life. Yeah, so I put them all together. And I do have a Life Camp t-shirt too. And I think it's upstairs in my room and I have to bring it down. But somehow, some way, I am going to incorporate them. And I'll probably create something. I don't know what it is yet. Or I'll run into other people that create stuff. So anyway, I have been on here long enough. And you all have a great day. And baby, it's snowing outside. And I think I'm going to come off of this and I'm going to go over to my Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Y'all have peace, blessings, and light. It's Tam behind the mic. Oh, I'm forgetting this ain't a touch screen. And I'll edit later on. I can go on this YouTube studio and edit. I'm going to practice that. Because you have to learn, and I'm willing to learn. Because I don't want to wait for anybody to do anything for me. And that's it. Okay.